And she came up to me and said, hey, I'm Pooh Shiesty mama. And I had just said some about that boy. And she said, I ain't like what you said. And, you know, I think, I won't say her husband, but Pooh Shiesty daddy represent another faction of Rap-A-Lot, but it's not Rap-A-Lot. When she said that, me and that white boy took off running from her. Yeah, she scared me because she kind of gangster. And I ain't said nothing about
What was supposed to be just another loud internet moment turned into something nobody expected. Cameras were rolling. Phones were up. The tension was already thick. And then suddenly, it wasn't just words anymore. It was personal. When Pooh Shiesty's parents reportedly came face-to-face with Charleston White, things didn't just get heated. They went completely left. For weeks, Charleston White had been trending for his controversial comments, pushing boundaries like he always does. He's built a reputation off saying what others won't, no matter who it offends. But this time, the situation allegedly hit closer to home. Family, legacy, respect. And when parents feel like their child's name is being dragged through the mud, especially in public, that energy changes fast. Sources say the confrontation wasn't planned for cameras, but once it started, it spread across social media like wildfire. Voices were raised, emotions were raw, and what shocked everyone wasn't just the anger, it was the intensity. This wasn't internet trolling anymore. This wasn't clubhouse debates or podcast clips. This felt real. Fans are divided. Some say Charleston White finally met people who weren't going to laugh off his words. Others argue that confrontation only fuels his brand. But one thing is clear. When family steps into the equation, the rules shift. Respect becomes non-negotiable. And in hip-hop culture, standing up for your name, especially your child's name, is everything. People close to the situation claim the exchange escalated quickly, with both sides refusing to back down. No smiles, no jokes, just direct energy. And once clips started circulating, the internet did what it always does: pick sides, speculate, and amplify every second. Now the big question is this: did Charleston White cross a line that can't be uncrossed? Or was this another example of controversy feeding the machine? Because one thing about situations like this, once it goes left, it rarely comes back right. And what happened next might change how everyone involved moved from here on out. The situation between Pooh Shiesty's family and Charleston White started as a tense online debate, but quickly escalated into a confrontation that shocked fans across social media. Charleston White, known for his bold and often controversial commentary, had recently made remarks that many perceived as targeting Pooh Shiesty, stirring up tension among fans and critics alike. While much of Charleston's fame is built on pushing boundaries and stirring conversation, this incident struck a different chord. It involved family, legacy, and respect, things that are taken seriously in hip-hop culture. When parents are drawn into a conflict surrounding their child, the stakes automatically rise. The energy shifts from playful online banter to a deeply personal and emotional clash, a shift that fans and observers noticed immediately. Reports indicate that Pooh Shiesty's mother and father decided to confront Charleston White directly after repeated online comments escalated. Sources close to the family described the move as protective and unavoidable. While many online arguments end with memes, tweets, and reaction videos, this situation was different. Family members are seen as ultimate protectors of reputation, especially when their child's name and career are being publicly challenged. The involvement of Pooh Shiesty's parents added a level of intensity that social media audiences had never seen in this particular feud. From the moment the meeting was arranged, or stumbled into, the energy shifted, and both parties understood that this would not be a casual conversation. As the confrontation unfolded, the tension in the air was almost palpable. According to eyewitnesses, Charleston White did not immediately back down. His style has always been to speak boldly and defend his opinions, no matter the consequences. But facing a protective mother and father changes the dynamics. Suddenly, words carry more weight, intentions are scrutinized, and the repercussions are personal rather than performative. Observers noted that both sides were aware cameras could capture the encounter, but neither seemed concerned about public perception at the moment. The focus was on expressing frustrations, defending names, and establishing boundaries. Fans quickly caught wind of the situation as clips began circulating online. Within minutes, social media platforms erupted with speculation, commentary, and reactions. Some viewers were shocked at the rawness of the exchange, noting that it felt real compared to the usual online feuds, which often rely on staged reactions or commentary from a distance. The addition of Pooh Shiesty's parents changed everything. This was no longer just an online spat or celebrity banter. It was a family standing up for their child's reputation, and audiences across TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube were riveted, replaying clips and analyzing every word, gesture, and facial expression. Charleston White's approach during the confrontation was reportedly unapologetic, staying true to his persona as a fearless commentator unafraid of backlash. However, being confronted by family members shifted the power dynamics. His usual environment of online dominance and verbal agility had been replaced by a face-to-face scenario where social and emotional stakes were much higher. This created a moment of tension that was unpredictable and, for many observers, difficult to watch. Fans noted that the interplay between Charleston's bravado and the parents' protective authority created an intense energy that couldn't be ignored. Analysts on social media debated the implications of this confrontation for all parties involved. Some suggested that Charleston White may have underestimated the seriousness of involving family, noting that in hip-hop culture, respect is non-negotiable. Others argued that this event would only add fuel to his controversial persona, allowing him to maintain relevance while also proving he can handle high-pressure situations. Meanwhile, fans of Pooh Shiesty applauded his parents for stepping in, emphasizing that defending one's family name is not just acceptable, it is expected in many communities. The clash highlighted the complexity of public discourse when personal boundaries intersect with celebrity commentary. The psychological tension during the confrontation was another key factor in why the event captured so much attention. Both sides had deeply personal stakes. Charleston White's reputation as a fearless voice versus the family's desire to protect their son's image. Observers remarked that even a single misstep or misunderstood comment could escalate the situation further, adding to the drama. The unpredictability of human emotion combined with the heightened stakes of public attention created a scenario that fans described as edge-of-your-seat viewing. Every gesture, glance, and word was dissected and replayed, amplifying the moment's significance. Ultimately, the confrontation between Pooh Shiesty's parents and Charleston White became more than just a viral incident. It transformed into a cultural discussion about respect, boundaries, and accountability. Fans debated who was right or wrong about interactions in recent hip-hop and internet culture. As the story continues to unfold, questions remain. How will Charleston White respond now that the confrontation has become public? Will Pooh Shiesty's family involvement shift his approach, or will it escalate tensions further? One thing is clear. This incident has gone beyond social media chatter, creating a moment of reckoning that has fans, celebrities, and commentators talking. The blend of personal stakes, online virality, and raw emotion has set the stage for further developments, making this confrontation a defining moment in both Charleston White's narrative and the larger conversation about respect and accountability in the hip-hop community. The fallout from the confrontation between Pooh Shiesty's parents and Charleston White quickly became one of the most talked-about moments in hip-hop and internet culture, as social media erupted with reactions, debates, and speculation. Fans dissected every moment of the encounter, from the parents' direct approach to Charleston White's unapologetic demeanor. For many, this was unlike typical online feuds, which often remain confined to tweets, memes, or reaction videos. This clash was personal, face-to-face, and emotionally charged, which elevated the stakes and drew attention from audiences far beyond the usual fan bases. Observers noted that when family is involved in defending a celebrity's name, the rules change entirely, and respect becomes the central issue. The confrontation reportedly began after Charleston White had continued to make public comments about Pooh Shiesty, which the family perceived as disrespectful. While Charleston's reputation thrives on controversy, the involvement of Pooh Shiesty's mother and father created a level of intensity that could not be ignored. Sources close to the situation suggested that the parents did not intend to create drama or go viral. They were motivated by protection, respect, and accountability. But in today's social media-driven world, personal confrontations rarely stay private. Phones were out, cameras were rolling, and moments intended to resolve tension became instant content for the internet to dissect. Charleston White's response during the face-to-face interaction drew mixed reactions from fans. Some admired his confidence and refusal to back down, consistent with the persona that has built him a following over the years. Others criticized his tone, arguing that when confronted by family members, especially parents defending their child, a more respectful approach is expected. The parents, meanwhile, were described as composed yet firm, clearly communicating their boundaries and expressing the emotional weight of the situation. Their involvement shifted the conversation from a casual online debate to a real-life confrontation with lasting implications. Social media exploded as clips from the encounter spread. On TikTok, fans broke down body language, tone, and phrasing, analyzing who won the confrontation or how it might affect each party's reputation. YouTube commentators posted hour-long breakdowns, speculating on whether Charleston White had miscalculated by underestimating the seriousness of facing Pooh Shiesty's family. Twitter, as always, became a battleground of opinions, with hashtags related to the event trending worldwide. Fans were polarized. Some sided with Charleston White, praising his courage to face the family directly, while others sided with Pooh Shiesty's parents, emphasizing that respect and family protection are non-negotiable in hip-hop culture. Industry insiders weighed in on the broader implications of the clash. Many noted that when family gets involved in public disputes, it introduces a level of authenticity and accountability that online commentary alone cannot achieve. The confrontation serves as a reminder that celebrity feuds are not just about entertainment. They can touch real lives, reputations, and relationships. Analysts suggested that this could have a lasting impact on both Charleston White and Pooh Shiesty's public narratives. For Charleston, it may challenge his approach to controversial commentary. For Pooh Shiesty, it reinforces the strength and influence of his support system. The psychological dynamics during the confrontation were also a major topic of discussion. Facing the parents of the person you've publicly criticized is vastly different from online banter. Observers noted that Charleston White's confidence and bravado were tested, while Pooh Shiesty's parents were motivated by a protective instinct that often overrides decorum in such moments. Fans and commentators dissected micro-expressions, pauses, and gestures, interpreting subtle cues as signs of dominance, intimidation, or submission. In a sense, the situation became a case study in emotional intelligence, conflict management, and the complexities of personal versus public accountability. Another aspect that caught attention was the media's role in amplifying the incident. While the family may have sought a private resolution, the presence of cameras and social media meant that everything became public instantly. Clips of the confrontation went viral within hours, sparking memes, debates, and a flurry of commentary across multiple platforms. This exposure magnified the intensity of the situation, creating a feedback loop where audience reaction influenced the perception of the confrontation, further escalating the drama. The moment became a cultural touchpoint, illustrating how private disputes can become global discussions in the digital age. Fans also began speculating about potential long-term consequences for both parties. Some argued that Charleston White might face backlash that could affect his brand, while others suggested that the incident could strengthen his notoriety and influence, given his fearless persona. For Pooh Shiesty and his parents, the confrontation reinforced the idea that defending family and legacy is paramount, sending a clear message to anyone who might disrespect their name. Analysts noted that this dynamic is especially significant in hip-hop culture, where respect, reputation, and personal boundaries carry enormous weight. Ultimately, this confrontation highlighted the complex interplay between personal relationships, public perception, and social media in modern celebrity culture. When family enters the equation, the dynamics shift, creating a level of accountability that is difficult to ignore. The exchange between Pooh Shiesty's parents and Charleston White became more than a viral moment. It became a lesson in boundaries, respect, and the consequences of words in the digital era. Fans continue to analyze every angle, with debates showing no signs of slowing down. As the situation develops, questions remain. How will Charleston White respond to the family's direct confrontation now that the moment has gone viral? Will this alter his approach to controversial commentary, or will it escalate tensions further? One thing is certain. The interaction between Pooh Shiesty's parents and Charleston White has left a mark, turning an internet feud into a real-life cultural moment that fans and commentators will be discussing for weeks to come. The stakes are high, the emotions are real, and the drama is far from over. The confrontation between Pooh Shiesty's parents and Charleston White continued to dominate conversations across social media, creating one of the most intense and widely discussed moments in recent hip-hop and internet culture. What began as an online dispute quickly escalated into a face-to. Interaction with serious emotional and reputational stakes. While Charleston White is no stranger to controversy, the involvement of family members introduced an entirely new dynamic. Fans, commentators, and industry insiders alike noted that this was no longer just about online bravado. It was personal, real, and unpredictable. The intensity of the moment was palpable in every clip, post, and reaction video circulating online. According to eyewitnesses, the meeting was tense from the very beginning. Pooh Shiesty's mother and father approached the situation with a clear sense of purpose, to defend their child's reputation and ensure that respect was maintained. They reportedly communicated firmly and directly, leaving no room for misinterpretation. For Charleston White, this was a challenge unlike any he had faced online, where he could control the narrative and respond on his own terms. Facing parents intent on protecting their child required navigating not just words, but the emotional energy and authority that comes with familial protection. Observers noted that this dynamic created a charged atmosphere that was impossible to ignore. Social media immediately exploded as clips of the confrontation spread. TikTok videos dissected the body language, tone, and phrasing of both sides, while YouTube commentators offered in-depth analysis of the incident's cultural and reputational implications. On Twitter, fans debated who came out on top and whether Charleston White had miscalculated by facing Pooh Shiesty's parents directly. The discussion quickly became a global phenomenon, with hashtags related to the incident trending and sparking conversations among casual fans, hip-hop enthusiasts, and cultural commentators alike. The engagement demonstrated that moments involving family and personal respect resonate far more deeply than typical celebrity feuds. The psychological tension in the encounter was one of the most discussed aspects online. Observers noted that Charleston White's usual confidence and bravado were put to the test, while Pooh Shiesty's parents brought an emotional intensity rooted in familial loyalty. Every word, pause, and gesture was scrutinized, with fans interpreting micro-expressions as signs of dominance, submission, or control. Analysts highlighted that in conflicts involving family, the emotional stakes are amplified, creating a level of intensity that is rarely seen in online interactions. This combination of personal investment and public scrutiny created a scenario that was both unpredictable and riveting to watch. Industry insiders also weighed in on the broader implications. They emphasized that celebrity interactions are often a mix of performance and strategy, but when family becomes involved, the stakes change dramatically. The confrontation underscored the importance of respect, boundaries, and accountability in both hip-hop and public discourse. Analysts suggested that this moment could have lasting consequences for Charleston White's brand and reputation, particularly if audiences perceive him as having crossed a line. Conversely, Pooh Shiesty and his family may have strengthened their narrative by asserting control over their public image and defending their son's name. Fans were quick to dissect the symbolic meaning of the encounter. Some argued that Charleston White had underestimated the seriousness of facing family, highlighting the difference between online commentary and in-person accountability. Others suggested that this confrontation could enhance his notoriety, as it demonstrated his willingness to engage directly and fearlessly. Meanwhile, fans of Pooh Shiesty praised his parents for stepping in, emphasizing that protecting family and legacy is not only acceptable but expected in many communities, particularly in the context of hip-hop culture where respect is paramount. The clash became a lens through which audiences could explore broader themes of power, authority, and social norms. The role of media amplification further intensified the situation. While the family may have intended to resolve tensions privately, the presence of cameras and the rapid spread of clips ensured that the event became public instantly. This exposure created a feedback loop in which audience reactions influenced perception, further escalating the stakes. Memes, reaction videos, and commentary exploded across platforms, ensuring that the confrontation reached audiences far beyond the immediate fan bases. Observers noted that this kind of viral dissemination often changes the nature of a conflict, turning personal disputes into public spectacles with cultural significance. Analysts also highlighted the potential long-term impact of the confrontation. For Charleston White, the encounter may influence how he approaches future commentary about celebrities and their families. For Pooh Shiesty, the incident reinforced the importance of strong family support and the power of asserting boundaries publicly. Fans debated whether the event marked a turning point in online interactions, emphasizing that personal accountability becomes unavoidable when family is involved. Social media engagement underscored how intertwined celebrity, personal life, and public perception have become in modern culture. Ultimately, the clash between Pooh Shiesty's parents and Charleston White highlighted the complex intersection of personal relationships, public perception, and social media influence. The confrontation transcended typical celebrity feuds, creating a moment that was emotionally charged, culturally significant, and widely discussed. Fans, commentators, and insiders continue to analyze every aspect, from gestures and tone to potential repercussions, demonstrating that the stakes were higher than they appeared at first glance. As the story continues to develop, questions remain about how Charleston White will respond and whether the involvement of family will have lasting effects on his approach to commentary. Will tensions escalate further, or will this confrontation serve as a turning point for accountability and respect? One thing is certain: the intersection of family, fame, and social media has created a moment that will be remembered and dissected for months to come, proving that in today's culture, respect, personal boundaries, and public perception are inseparably linked. Fans around the world are watching closely, waiting to see what happens next in this high-stakes, emotionally charged saga. The confrontation between Pooh Shiesty's parents and Charleston White continued to dominate social media, creating one of the most talked-about moments in hip-hop and online culture. Unlike many celebrity feuds that play out entirely online, this incident escalated into a face-to-face interaction with serious emotional stakes. Sources close to the situation explained that the parents did not approach Charleston White to make content or go viral. They were there to defend their son's reputation and assert that respect is non-negotiable. Once family is involved, the dynamics of any conflict change dramatically. What might have been just another online spat transformed into a personal and public showdown, catching fans, commentators, and even other celebrities off guard. Observers noted that the energy was tense from the very beginning. Pooh Shiesty's mother and father approached with a feigned but controlled demeanor, clearly expressing the seriousness of the situation. Charleston White, known for his unapologetic persona and willingness to push boundaries, faced a situation that required more than verbal skill. He had to navigate the emotional authority that comes with confronting a parent. Every word exchange carried weight, and every gesture was amplified in the context of family, legacy, and cultural respect. Fans immediately recognized that this confrontation was operating on a level far beyond ordinary online drama. Social media erupted as clips of the interaction began circulating. TikTok videos broke down body language, pauses, and phrasing, dissecting who had the upper hand and analyzing the potential consequences for both parties. YouTube commentators uploaded detailed analyses, debating whether Charleston White underestimated the seriousness of engaging with family members directly. On Twitter, hashtags related to the incident trended globally as fans took sides, speculated on the fallout, and amplified the story through memes, commentary, and viral clips. The widespread attention highlighted how social media now transforms personal confrontations into public spectacles, where perception and narrative control are as important as the confrontation itself. The psychological tension of the encounter was another key element that captured attention. Observers highlighted that Charleston White's usual confidence and bravado were tested in the face of parents defending their child. For Pooh Shiesty's family, the confrontation was not just about words. It was about protecting legacy, asserting boundaries, and demonstrating that disrespect toward their son would not go unanswered. Fans analyzed micro-expressions, gestures, and tone, interpreting subtle cues as signs of dominance, submission, or emotional control. The combination of high stakes, raw emotion, and public scrutiny made the exchange compelling and, for many viewers, unpredictable. Industry insiders noted that confrontations involving family carry a level of authenticity and accountability rarely seen in typical celebrity feuds. Unlike staged online interactions or carefully curated content, this event had real emotional consequences. Analysts suggested that Charleston White's approach could have long-term implications for his brand, especially if audiences perceive him as having crossed a line. Conversely, Pooh Shiesty and his family may have strengthened their narrative by asserting control over their public image and showing that respect is a priority. The clash became a reflection of broader cultural norms, emphasizing the weight of reputation, boundaries, and loyalty in hip-hop and online communities. Fans quickly dissected the symbolic meaning of the encounter. Many emphasized that when parents are involved, the situation ceases to be performative. It becomes deeply personal. Some argued that Charleston White had underestimated the seriousness of engaging with family, while others suggested that the confrontation could enhance his notoriety by showcasing his fearlessness in the face of tension. Fans of Pooh Shiesty praised his parents for stepping in, reinforcing the idea that defending family and legacy is expected and necessary. This incident served as a reminder that in hip-hop culture, respect is foundational, and crossing that line can have significant repercussions. Media amplification intensified the situation even further. What may have been a private confrontation was quickly broadcast to millions of people across multiple platforms. Clips went viral, fueling speculation and debate and creating a feedback loop where public reaction influenced the perception of the event. Memes, commentary, and fan analyses spread rapidly, ensuring that the confrontation reached audiences far beyond the immediate fan bases. The virality of the moment illustrates how private disputes in the digital age rarely stay private, and how social media can transform individual conflicts into global cultural events. Analysts also discussed the potential long-term ramifications. Charleston White may now have to reconsider how he approaches controversial commentary involving celebrities and their families, while Pooh Shiesty's parents have reinforced the importance of defending their son publicly. Fans debated whether the incident marked a turning point in online interactions, emphasizing that when family is involved, accountability becomes unavoidable. Social media engagement demonstrates how deeply intertwined celebrity, personal relationships, and public perception have become, creating an environment where every word and action is scrutinized. Ultimately, the confrontation between Pooh Shiesty's parents and Charleston White was more than just a viral moment. It became a cultural touchstone highlighting respect, accountability, and the emotional stakes of family involvement. Fans, commentators, and analysts continue to examine every nuance, from tone to gestures to potential implications. The incident has elevated the conversation about how personal boundaries intersect with public commentary, creating a narrative that is as much about social norms as it is about celebrity drama. As the story continues to unfold, the question remains, how will Charleston White respond to the confrontation now that it has been broadcast to the world? Will he escalate tensions, issue an apology, or change his approach moving forward? One thing is clear: the intersection of fame, family, and social media has created a moment that will resonate for months to come. Fans worldwide are watching closely, eager to see how the next chapter in this high-stakes, emotionally charged saga will unfold. The stakes are higher than ever, and the drama is far from over. The fallout from the confrontation between Pooh Shiesty's parents and Charleston White continued to dominate social media discussions, solidifying this incident as one of the most talked-about moments in recent hip-hop and online culture. Unlike typical celebrity disputes that are confined to online spaces, this face-to-face clash introduced personal stakes, family involvement, and emotional intensity that elevated the drama far beyond the ordinary. Fans, commentators, and insiders were captivated not just by what was said, but by what the confrontation represented: respect, legacy, and accountability. Every detail, from body language to tone of voice, was dissected and analyzed across multiple platforms, creating a level of engagement rarely seen in online feuds. According to eyewitnesses, the tension remained high throughout the encounter. Pooh Shiesty's parents approached with a clear purpose: to assert their authority as protectors of their child's name and reputation. Their presence shifted the dynamic completely, transforming the confrontation into something real and personal. Charleston White, who is accustomed to dominating conversations online through bold commentary and viral content, now faced the challenge of addressing the situation in person with individuals whose authority and emotional stakes could not be ignored. Observers noted that this combination of personal investment and public visibility created a unique kind of pressure rarely captured in celebrity interactions. Social media continued to amplify the event. Clips of the confrontation circulated rapidly on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, prompting a wave of commentary, memes, and analysis. Fans broke down micro-expressions, hand gestures, and pauses, attempting to interpret who held the upper hand or how the exchange might impact both Charleston White and Pooh Shiesty. Hashtags related to the incident trended globally, illustrating the widespread fascination with this unexpected showdown. Fans debated everything from Charleston White's composure to the parents' assertiveness, making it clear that this was more than a typical celebrity moment. It had become a cultural touchstone for discussions about respect, family, and accountability. The psychological tension of the interaction was another key factor driving engagement. Observers highlighted the contrast between Charleston White's usual confidence and the authoritative presence of Pooh Shiesty's parents. While Charleston thrives on bold commentary, the parents' involvement created stakes that could not be ignored, testing his ability to navigate real-life accountability. Fans noted that this confrontation required more than verbal skill. It demanded emotional intelligence, control, and awareness of social and cultural dynamics. The exchange became a real-time study in negotiation, respect, and the emotional complexities that arise when family and fame collide. Industry analysts also weighed in, emphasizing the broader implications of this encounter. Many noted that celebrity conflicts often remain performative or curated for social media, but family involvement changes the rules entirely. The confrontation underscored how reputation, personal boundaries, and cultural respect play critical roles in hip-hop and celebrity culture. Analysts suggested that this could have lasting effects on Charleston White's approach to public commentary, while simultaneously strengthening Pooh Shiesty's narrative by demonstrating that his family is willing to step in and defend him. This dynamic has sparked broader conversations about accountability, respect, and the intersections of personal and public life in the digital era. Fans also focused on the symbolic meaning of the confrontation. Many argued that it represented a turning point in online celebrity disputes, showing that family involvement adds a level of authenticity and seriousness that online interactions alone rarely achieve. Some suggested that Charleston White may have underestimated the impact of facing parents defending their child's name. Others believe that this moment could enhance his persona by showcasing his fearlessness, as he stood firm even under significant emotional and social pressure. Meanwhile, fans of Pooh Shiesty praised the parents for asserting their authority, reinforcing cultural norms that place respect and family loyalty above all else. Media amplification played a major role in escalating the drama. While the parents likely intended the confrontation to address the situation directly, the rapid spread of clips transformed it into a viral spectacle. The public response created a feedback loop, where commentary, memes, and fan analysis influenced how the interaction was perceived and interpreted. This amplification demonstrates the modern reality of celebrity disputes, where private confrontations rarely remain private and the line between personal accountability and public performance is increasingly blurred. As the dust settled, speculation about the long-term consequences grew. Fans debated whether Charleston White would adjust his approach to controversial commentary or double down on his bold persona. Analysts suggested that Pooh Shiesty's parents' involvement had reinforced their family's influence and set a precedent for defending personal and professional reputation in public spaces. The incident became a cultural lesson, emphasizing that respect, accountability, and family loyalty remain powerful forces in shaping narratives, both online and offline. Ultimately, the confrontation between Pooh Shiesty's parents and Charleston White transcended typical celebrity drama. It highlighted the interplay between personal relationships, social media influence, and cultural norms. The interaction captured the attention of fans, commentators, and cultural observers worldwide, becoming more than a viral moment. It became a discussion about respect, accountability, and the stakes of family involvement in public disputes. The story continues to evolve, leaving questions unanswered. Will Charleston White respond publicly, privately, or adjust his approach to future commentary? How will this moment influence his reputation and audience perception moving forward? One thing is certain: this high-stakes, emotionally charged confrontation has left an indelible mark on fans, the hip-hop community, and online culture. As the narrative unfolds, audiences worldwide remain captivated, anticipating the next development in a saga defined by tension, respect, and the power of family intervention. The confrontation between Pooh Shiesty's parents and Charleston White has sparked one of the biggest conversations in hip-hop and online culture recently. And now it's your turn to weigh in. Do you think Charleston White handled the situation appropriately? Or did he cross a line by underestimating the power of family involvement? How do you feel about Pooh Shiesty's parents stepping in to defend their son? Share your thoughts in the comments below and join the conversation with fans around the world. Make sure to hit the like button if you're following every twist in this saga. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the latest updates, viral moments, and insider drama from the hip-hop scene. Turn on notifications to stay ahead of breaking stories and witness the next developments in this emotionally charged feud. Be part of the discussion, because in moments like this, every opinion matters, and the story is far from over.